Hey guys, guess what? We're gonna play Exoprimal tonight. Let me just check and make sure that we are getting audio out of the stream. Hey, that works. Let's see, and then let's unmute this. See if that's getting. Oh, that's a little soft. Let's turn that up just a tad. Still a little soft, actually. I'm a little surprised. I'm gonna give you the full blast there.
Hello, I'm Sandy, your IBS support android.
How about there? Better. Okay, dialed in. Okay. Okay. I can get it on my TV, so let's hope that this is good enough for anybody watching out there. All right, so we're gonna check out Exoprimal. This is, so I'm gonna try something new here. The Remnant 2 video, I was doing basically some research today. I took a look at the Remnant 2 video, and actually, it did a lot better. It's doing a lot better than I think it is. Now, obviously, we are very, very small fish. There's not a whole lot of, I'm counting it a win that we seem to be showing up in the algorithm. We seem to be showing up in people's kind of like, hey, YouTube recommends that you watch this. And we've gotten some clicks from it. The conversion rate is, it could be better. A lot better. But, it kind of gives me some hope. So it looks like longer videos are actually fine. It might, right now, it's actually, we put out the video of Wandering Village. And while that was a lot of fun to do, shorter form content, and it kind of covered a game that I don't necessarily know if it's that being well talked about. Now, I do still want to check out, with that being said, I want to check out indie games still. I want to check out indie games, specifically early access indie games, because I feel like they are sometimes not touched on that much anymore. I don't know whether or not it's a problem with the way that those are done these days, or if it might be a problem with the way that they are marketed. Obviously indie studios are a lot less marketed than kind of big AAAs. The game we're checking out today is Exoprimal. Exoprimal is actually published and developed by Capcom. Capcom's massive. They're one of the largest game publishers and developers in the world. They make Street Fighter, they make Devil May Cry, some of my personal favorites like Beautiful Joe, right? They own all those IPs. Monster Hunter is real big, especially with the release of World. Got a ton of good press. But anyway, not to wander too far off the topic, I want to focus on indie games, but I still want to do kind of long form content. Especially if it does well. If somebody's finding value out of it, which looking at the numbers on Remnant 2, it looks like people actually do watch it. I think right now we're at like 35 to 40-ish views, and somebody's watched it because there's a total of about an hour and a half of view time on it. So somebody's out there watching it. And as long as somebody's out there watching it, then we're going to make it. Right? And especially because it was a lot of fun to do, and I want to get better at it. But with that being said, is we have to watch kind of I have to be careful of my time that I spend, and I have to be careful with how much investment I'm actually in time investment, really. Like money wise, obviously we don't want to go bankrupt doing this, but I don't want to ruin my kind of balance that I had pretty well with my work and my home. I don't want it to get too messy, right? I've talked before, I have a family, I have a son, I have a wife. I had a really, really kind of good balance between my work and home, and I'm throwing this in here. And while this is a hobby, you know, maybe we can turn it into something. And I hope it's somebody out there is getting something out of it. So with that being said, is we're going to try to condense some of our research into these kinds of streams where not only are these going to be first impressions, they're going to be labeled as such. We may cut video so that way you're getting the first impressions out of, like, at least a decent chunk of the first impressions out of these live streams. And then you're also, you know, I may also use it as an opportunity to kind of do like interactive research with you guys into what hopefully becomes a video, right? And a lot of that footage, my interactions, will all go into a video. And it's, you know, this is kind of, I think this is a better way to do it, because watching through my Remnant 2 video, I wasn't happy with it. I felt like I was, you know, I'm definitely talking to a void, but at least with a live chat, there's the potential that somebody stumbles in here and I can start interacting with them. On top of that, I can bounce conversations and questions and stuff off of, you know, my friends who decide to come in here, who I kind of guinea pig games for sometimes. I feel like I'm kind of the one who's like, hey, I saw this game, I'm gonna try it out if you guys want to watch me in Discord. And we'll kind of use it as a little bit of that. And on top of that, you know, the VOD will be on YouTube. If anybody out there is looking for kind of a longer form first impressions / research / gameplay of, you know, games like Exoprimal, right? Then it's there. It's a VOD on YouTube. It's long. You may have to scrub through it, but at least it's there. But anyway, that's kind of my plan. So we're going to try this and we're going to see how well it works. And at least we're going to do this for games that I want to check out. And, you know, the Escape from Tarkov stuff will still be here. I'm still going to try to do, you know, I'm thinking about a couple of ideas for Escape from Tarkov content, but that's probably going to be mostly comfort game stuff. Like, this is going to be the game that we play whenever we don't have a whole lot to check out. There's nothing that really interests me, and I want to get, yeah, I don't know, I want to W key at somebody for the night or something. We were working on the end game tasks, but we're not going to. We'll talk about that another day. I don't want to talk. I don't want to focus on that. Let's get started. We're already 10 minutes in, and you know, I want to show you guys Exoprimal, and I want to kind of check this game out, because this game's kind of, it's confusing. Like, it's very, very confusing so far, and confusing as in, like, I wasn't expecting this. So let's get started. All right, turn the game volume back on, and if anybody out there is able to is watching. And is currently in the chat. Now, please let me know if the game volume is bad or not. So first of all, game's actually pretty well optimized. I'm a little surprised. I don't know what engine this is using. I'm assuming that this is, actually, it's a little loud in my ears, so we're just gonna turn that down just a tad. Just a tad, because I need to be able to kind of hear myself think. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Headphones. Yep. So first of all, the game's actually pretty well optimized so far. I'm having to toss this over to my larger kind of TV / monitor because unfortunately this game, or rather I'm playing it out of Game Pass. Game Pass has a very, very specific way it launches applications to where it's kind of, it's like in protected memory space. I don't want to get into the too crunchy of the technical details, but basically it's very, very difficult to capture with stuff like OBS. So I'm actually capturing the entirety of my TV. You're actually watching this on a 1440, you know, it's 1440p, right? That's my resolution, but it's blown out to a 4K monitor. I hope it does not ruin the quality too much. I'm looking at the stream right now and it doesn't look terrible. So let's see here. Come on, catch up. It doesn't look terrible. So we're going to say that, at least for the moment, the performance looks solid. Now, whether or not it's going to stay that way, because this game is a little bonkers whenever it comes to entities and stuff inside of the actual gameplay portions. But at least right now, you know, at least in the tutorial, the frame rate stayed pretty solid right up until I bumped it up to 4K, and then I noticed like, ooh, like, let's not play it at 4K. I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of graphical fidelity to be able to get a decent frame rate. And that's kind of, so, starting off good so far. Now, another thing that I noticed with this is I thought that this was basically multiplayer only. I thought it was very much, oh, I don't like this already. We'll get to that. I thought that this was basically a hero shooter with like kind of a bare framework of like a story, but it actually is so much more. There are cutscenes in this game, guys. Like there's straight up, like, it tries to make you kind of feel for the characters. Like they have voice dialogue. They seem to have fully, like, they at least have tried to give them some semblance of a fully fleshed out personality. It's very strange. Did not expect this. So like I said, I thought that this was going to just be like a hero shooter, kind of like Overwatch, where a lot of the story we'd probably get in cutscenes, or I'm sorry, not cutscenes, like animations and other stuff and material outside of the game, right? Apex kind of does some of this, where it doesn't actually do any story or lore inside of the game. It's all done in shorts and stuff outside, and like, journals, and they do a little bit of like in-game story where like they'll do in-game events, but Overwatch certainly does not do anything like that. But it doesn't seem that way. Like there's a straight up story to this. Like, and I think I have not delved into an actual game. Like this seems to be kind of the quote unquote story mode. It is Dino Survival. And you guys are going to get to see me do this. It does seem like it matches you. So, and this is the interesting part, is this is a hero shooter with like a PvE/P spin to it. If you've ever played something like Left 4 Dead or Warframe, where you're kind of paired together and you accomplish missions and objectives, there's that. But there's also a semblance, at least in the trailers that I watched for this, there's also a semblance of you can invade their worlds to like the other team's like arena to fight them directly. And at least in the tutorial, there's a portion where I got to control a dinosaur. I don't understand what was going on. I kind of skipped past a couple of the cutscenes because I was like, oh, this is all just kind of semblance of, the kind of the semblance of story, right? But then NPCs started talking. They started there's like there's a straight up protagonist, some sort of rogue AI, and I got sent back in time. I came back with some sort of time traveling engine. I don't know, but we're gonna delve into this together. Now let's talk again about some of the things that I already don't like. I don't like this. This does not. I don't. This looks bad. So I covered this already in. I did kind of some pre-stream recording just to kind of capture some of my initial thoughts through the tutorial and control and stuff like that, as well as to make you guys not sit through the tutorial, because some of it's not. That's not necessarily a good first impressions, but it does make good for video content. Is this? I'm pretty sure this is a microtransaction currency, and there's this stuff in the corner where it looks like, yep, there's straight up purchasable stuff. I don't like it. Don't like this. This game's $60. You are going to charge $60 for a game, and you already have MTX stuff available like right from the start. I get it, but at the same time, I don't even like this, and I don't even really like this in Diablo. I don't like that Blizzard kind of does this with, that Blizzard did this with Diablo. But small, like that's more just like small bit that like, I don't like that. But at least so far. Okay, let me repeat this. So far, like if you look at this, like okay, it's just cosmetic stuff, right? Well, let's look at the hangar. This is ostensibly where all of like your suits are stored. I don't like this. This I really, really don't like. Exosuit locked. And I'm not gonna press this because I have this link to my personal account and I don't want to show it on screen, but I do not like that apparently this can apparently be purchased. So maybe this Bitcoins is... Maybe this is earnable currency, but I'm not happy that they already have... That they seem to already have, like, out of the box, you can unlock these with cash. That seems really shitty to me. I mean, that's... It is shitty to me, actually. And there's like a try on the firing range, but I don't... This seems bad, you know? On top of that, it's level locked on purchasing with Bitcoin. So if this is an earnable currency, you know, why am I level locked, right? Anyway, let's get into the actual game. Equipment. All right, so Deadeye, user friendly. Start matchmaking. Let's see if anybody's playing this game. It's kind of looking at the settings, but right before that. But the game does look really good too. Right now, I'm getting the sense that I mean, Capcom is a Japanese company, you know, and they do have some games that are quite the looker, so to speak. If you guys remember, like Lost Planet, there's like some amount of like mech and anime influence on that. And this seems to retain kind of the similar types of aesthetic.
Welcome to the war game. I am the advanced artificial intelligence.
Yeah, this is the protagonist, by the way.
I require all exofighters to participate in the
Exoprimal.
combat tests. This
Oh,
is
hey,
a
there's
two-team
voice
competitive
chat here.
scenario.
PvE,
Those on the other side are
PvP,
the
shoot 'em
enemy
up,
team. The first
strategy
team to complete
kind of
all
game.
of the assigned objectives wins.
Like you have a tank,
Will be eligible.
yeah,
I don't think
like
he knows-
a healer, a DPS, and blah blah
Data
blah.
indicates
I don't think he knows that he's
Go
open
around,
mic.
kill
their
dinosaurs, and
performance
then
through competition.
depending on
Compete to
PvP or
win.
PvE,
And compete
you
to
What's my
win.
push to talk?
Compete to achieve research excellence.
huh? Yeah,
Hey man, you know you're on push to talk, or you know you're on open mic?
I sure do. I can see my little icon. I was just talking to somebody in Discord. They're asking what I was playing.
Oh, I got you, man.
My bad.
No, you're all
You want me
good.
to mute
I wasn't
myself?
sure if like maybe you just didn't know or not.
Forgive me, I am new to this shit, so.
That's okay. I'm new too.
Dimensional travel. Prepare for
I literally just installed this maybe 40 minutes ago.
career opportunities for
Alright,
personal
cool. So
growth.
we're doing this whole little
I
learning
have
curve
summoned
Oh yeah.
together.
combat a dinosaur swarm.
I did play like 2
dinosaurs
matches,
I bring
so
to
I
the
know
war
you follow the
are
fucking
exceptional
the orb,
ferocious.
you kill dinosaurs, and you try to kill them in a faster
Death
time
is
than the other
virtually
team.
assured in this exercise.
Speed run, Left 4 Dead. Gotcha.
You will now engage in
Right, and then at the end, depending if it's PvP or PvE, you can you'll fight them.
initiating dinosaur
Okay.
And it's like fucking Overwatch.
Please wait.
Okay, so that guy's pretty friendly so far. That's a good sign. He doesn't have a shit mic.
Summon raptors.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, by the way, guys. I mean, look at this. This is nutty.
Dinosaur call. You are
So,
completing
and the interesting
objectives
thing is,
faster
you see that
than
like
enemy.
red? Is that red outline, or is that the other team?
Initiating
Correct.
dinosaur call.
It's just like their shadow in a sense.
Please wait.
Okay, so this is cool. This has almost got like a. It's almost like a Gambit feel,
Summoning raptors.
which I've made
Overheat.
I've made a lot of friends playing Gambit. Some of them I still play games with to this day. You know who I'm talking about if you're out there.
Raptors.
Yeah, but like, look at this. It runs great, especially for. I'm kind of surprised. I don't. This could be using the Resident Evil engine. Might be why it runs good.
Summon raptors. Dinosaur call complete. On to the next mission. Follow the
Hey man,
watchers'
big props to you. Your mic
instructions.
sounds
Proceed
fantastic,
to
by the way.
next mission.
I needed that.
Initiating
Thank you.
dinosaur cull mission. Preparing combat area.
So sure, like MV7.
Summoning
You got a
Pachy
sure?
Cephalosaurus.
Man.
Sure do.
Got him. Yeah, I have like, big props to that guy. He's got a fucking sure mic.
He's clear as well as well.
Dinosaur
Thank you.
call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team. Initiating dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat area. Summoning raptors. Summoning Tyrannosaurus.
I mean, this is nuts. It's kind of cool too. Like I kind of dig this. It's a little mindless.
Summoning raptors.
Like, definitely gives me that Left 4 Dead vibe.
I needed that.
But you also see numbers, and I'm also a mech. That's automatically way cooler. And I get abilities like a cool railgun and a grenade launcher.
Dinosaur
I mean, come on. Come on.
You are
Did we win?
completing
Are we winning?
objectives faster than the enemy team.
Did we do it?
I mean, I'm having fun, so I'm definitely
High
winning.
score?
Initiating dinosaur
High score.
call mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait.
There's a fucking score in the corner?
What was the electrocution dude? Just killing it.
Summoning raptors.
Like Witch Doctor, right?
I guess. I don't fucking know. I just know he's zapping the shit out of stuff
Summoning
and they're killing it.
Summoning Pachycephalosaurus.
Okay, how many takes do you think the voice actor took to get that?
Summoning raptors.
Nice work.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy.
Okay, so it kind of calls you out. That's kind of nice.
Initiating dinosaur call.
Yeah, okay, so there is like a score. There's also like an actual score.
Summoning a Triceratops.
If I press tab.
Oh shit.
I fucked up. I hit it in the head.
Oh god. Where the fuck did it go?
Find the sign. This is nuts. I like it. This is very silly.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team. Warning. You will now commence the final mission.
Okay.
Brace yourselves for interdimensional travel. Prepare for
Oh boy.
combat.
So how do we know if it's PvE or PvP?
Final mission will be data key security. Proximity
I only
to the
did
data
it
key
once.
will
It was
cause
like
you
the
to
first
advance.
round.
Escorted to the objective.
You'll be fighting them.
If the data
There's a
key
block.
is
Alright, you
destroyed,
played Overwatch where you have like the one.
Yeah.
where
Like
it's like
payload.
the tank. This, just like this. Just
Okay,
Now
I gotcha.
engage in combat with the enemy.
So are they automatically here, or do they have to invade?
So we still have to go through the dinosaurs, and then like it's gonna come a point they're gonna have their payload. We have our payload, and you have to get your payload there. And obviously you die. It takes
Summoning raptor.
time to respawn, so on and so forth. Eventually, someone's payload's gonna go.
Summoning
Hey, we're winning.
Summoning raptors.
Thinking. Well done.
Escort progress. 20%.
Oh, I fucked that up. I should have put it deeper in. This runs great. I don't. I know I keep saying that,
I have
but
awarded the enemy team a
the
dollar.
amount of games that I've played
so
where
the enemy team is now gonna have a fucking dinosaur that's gonna come fuck us up.
Keep that up.
got it. How do we know they're controlling it? Does it light up different?
They have it's got like a collar around its neck,
Has
Oh, I gotcha.
progressed
Okay.
20%.
like a holographic collar.
The enemy team is on the offensive. Fight back. Warning.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
enemy
whoa.
team has
Oh, there it is.
Behind us, behind us, behind us. Triceratops.
enemy-controlled dinosaurs. Prioritize its destruction. Proximity to the data key will cause it to advance. Escort it to the objective. Preparations for data transfer will begin upon arrival.
We got pterodactyl ads as well.
Good shit.
Dominator has been generated.
Good job,
for your
boys.
team.
We
Use the
fucked that thing up
Dominator
quick.
to commandeer a dinosaur.
Focus fire.
Someone wanna invade?
Damn.
Escort progress.
I've never done it, so I have no idea.
I think it said we got a collar, right? Oh yeah. Go fuck him up. Go fuck him up.
Defeat the enemies. The enemy data key has progressed 40%.
What is behind me? It's fucking
Proximity to
pterodactyl.
the data key will cause it to advance. Escort it to the objective. Preparations for data.
So yeah, so it's very much like a gambit. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a gambit, but I think because it puts you in as a dinosaur, it's not as overbalanced. It's like in Gambit, right?
Summon raptor.
Basically, like if you get like power and then invade in Destiny 2, you just kind of fuck people up.
Alright, around this corner where this witch doctor is the last time I seen the bad guys.
That I
Like the
love
other
that.
team.
That cool like frag grenade. Makes me feel good. Oh my bad, dog. I knocked you off.
Stay near the data
Overheat
key
it.
to escape and complete the mission.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So like the
Progress.
kind of cool, like how well this runs for how much stuff is going on the screen.
There they are. They're over there, little motherfuckers.
Has progressed
Bitch.
a well-balanced combat.
Oh, he's right here. What the fuck?
No, he ain't.
Killed one.
He did.
Victory demonstrated exceptional combat ability by defeating
Incoming. Big dude. He's floating.
I have a shield up. I had a shield up.
the data key is badly damaged. The data key has been destroyed. Maintain proximity to initiate.
That's cool. Okay, I like that.
The data key has reached the objective.
All right, I think our little dude right here, he's fucking.
Preparations progress more.
Who's this guy?
Friendly exofighters are near the data
The witch doctor?
Continue
I think
to
so. I think that's what what's the tutorial said, like the electric
has
dude.
progressed 90%. Consider directly attacking.
This is cool. I like this. This is a lot of fun. So, okay, so now they're like kind of like, so this is interesting.
Preparation 60%.
Keep that up.
Area transfer will be initiated.
So we're kind of like holding them up, and they're doing the thing. So this is a very MOBA thing, but like usually whenever you revive, you kind of don't want to just funnel in one by one. That they're kind of, so that's kind of like what they're doing.
Combat
We
test
win.
complete.
GG's. Good job, boys.
You are victorious. This team
We win.
demonstrates tremendous potential. There will be a rest interval until the
Interesting.
next combat
Okay.
test. Take full advantage
I
of
make
this
you straight.
incredible
That's what
employee
the-
benefit.
Not into that.
Wonderful news. You have been granted permission to survive.
Okay.
You are an ideal specimen for a very important experiment. Your new assignment is the perpetual war game. Explore your potential in vigorous lethal interface with dinosaurs and your fellow exofighters alike. I require the best possible combat data in order to develop the best possible exosuit. Do your part, survive the war game, and generate robust combat data. Deep learning in progress.
Oh boy.
Threat level rising. Research subject exofighters. War game transitioning to infinite repetition. Humans.
I'm not into that.
Fight and die for me.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That seems like a very meta thing.
Blazing the trail.
Is he MVP? I'm assuming that means he's at like MVP.
Behold, the best exofighters in this war game.
Oh, I didn't make it up there. Kind of nuts though. Okay. Survival pass must be their battle pass mechanic. Okay. Oh. One must be free and the other one is like a premium only. Yep. That's gross. Okay, so there's levels to your each suit. Kind of neat. Player list. Who's the guy who was talking? Sciatic.
Majesty, can I be of assistance?
I just need a circuit jump here.
Oh, well. And voila.
Not everything can be fixed with robot arm.
Oh, Majesty. Majesty, you wound me.
This is what I was talking about, by the way.
Open a connection.
Connection ready.
Ah, I got it working. All right. How you doing, mate?
Oh, you the rude boy that pulled my pilot's feet out of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what kind of name is Magnum?
Well, when we get out of here, you can ask me, mate. You get that suit fixed up yet?
We got our priorities. I'm making sense of this situation. War games and parallel worlds.
You've been living cloudy with a chance of raptors for 2 years. Is this a bigger bite to chew?
3 years.
Fuck off. 3.
You're somewhere on this island. That's the only explanation.
The name's Lorenzo. You grew up wanting to design race cars, right? With your little sis. Only you ended up doing this. And Haruka ended up...
Hey! That's enough. I'm not saying funny here, Ross Clot.
Chief, you want to try talking to Parallel, you?
Oh boy.
Another one. Still handsome.
The parallel world's just him with an eye patch.
That's why they raised that coin.
This game's silly.
Yeah, that's Parallel world money, mate.
Magnum, yeah. Have you, seen one of me over there?
Oh, man, I've never seen one of you. Nice hardware. Reckon he's lifting, eh?
Now, wait a minute, I'm not...
Now, listen up, Leviathan's got our plans in the blender. It's trying to build stronger exosuits, so it's pulling any exofighter it can get hold of back in time for these bloody war games. Now, you win, Your fabulous prize is more bloody war games. Hey! You lose, you die. And your whole crew starts to dead.
Well, that's not an option.
No, I reckon it's not. It's one way or another.
Valued team members, prepare for dimensional integration in 10 minutes.
See? And soon you're gonna be back in 2040. But remember, you need to keep fighting until we can figure out how to destroy the Leviathan. All right? You stay alive, mate. All of you.
Chief, what was that?
Chief, there were two of you.
I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't think I believe it. And I know I don't understand it. But right now, we got a suit to fix. Let's get to it.
What a strange game.
Something wrong, Madge?
I've never heard the Chief raise his voice like that.
Oh, when he spoke about Haruka, it's the Chief's sister. She died. I mean, it's in his file. I mean, Sandy has it. She has all our files. Madge, have you not read them?
Absolutely not. It is inappropriate to read that. Wait, have you read? Is that my file? Are you reading? Did you read my file?
I would never, just the teeniest... Ace! Ace, listen to me, okay? You have to find one of me over there. It's not funny, Ace. Ace, I could be talking to myself.
You're doing it now.
I am available for tactical support and mental counseling.
What? That's gross. Okay.
More data is required in order to escape from this
Second.
island.
This is the second one. You know, number 2, we're getting hit with a big old thing of microtransaction stuff immediately after a game.
I will get
Okay.
back out there.
We can choose like emblems as cosmetic stuff. Wait, did I say? Oh, okay. You got an Apexy.
I'll be
Looks
back
like
in
you can
action
kinda
as soon as
earn-
this wound heals.
Like, okay, yeah. So you can kind of change this out. Change your kind of emblem, your background. I'm assuming these are like, oh, okay. So you can almost display like badges. Battles logged. So this is kind of interesting to me. Is random PvE. Oh, now that is cool. That's kind of interesting. So I'm assuming this guy's okay. Communication wheel, cannon. Oh, interesting. So each one has kind of its own. Each one kind of has its own track. That you can follow. And that has its own rewards. That's kind of interesting. Now, what is... It says rig there. Can I change? Does that... Can this gun be changed? It doesn't give me an option to. Modules. I'm assuming these are like modifiers. Yeah, okay. Deadeye proficiency. PT drill. Those like emotes. Okay, so the longer you play in a suit, it looks like the more kind of. I don't know if this. I wonder if this is just a kind of like a part of that award emblems thing. It's kind of. So it looks like it's. I'm trying to think if there's an equivalent system I've ever played of. Yeah, I'm kind of blanking on like what I can kind of equivalent that to. Oh, here we go. Rigs and modules. Rigs are defensive repairing and moving abilities. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can performance boost jump. Oh, neat. Okay. So one kind, you can kind of like mix and match what you're. Yeah, you can kind of mix and match for different, I guess, quote unquote builds would be the best kind of. Would be the best equivalency. And it looks like you can kind of unlock. Yeah, you can unlock different ones. Looks like with bitcoins. Bitcoins. I actually just thought about that. Deep piercing thrust. Yeah. So you can give yourself different modules and ability. Like the modules kind of they kind of correspond to different abilities that or different passives, and then the rigs are. I think that's the thing that goes on your back, because this catapult thing, I just replayed it like, it was this cannon, and that was kind of like the railgun thing that I did, and then this catapult and aid. Let's switch over to the aid, so that way I can help with healing. I guess we'll just keep rolling with Deadeye. He kind of plays just like a regular shooter guy, you know? I don't know how good matchmaking seems okay. Does it give me a timer on matchmaking? No, it does not. Okay. Well, we'll just poke around the options while we're in here. AI, identity settings. Okay, that's just whatever. God damn it. Of course, as soon as I go in the settings, it finds the game. So pros so far. Let's talk about pros. The aesthetic's really cool. I like the mech aesthetic. The dinosaurs look cool. There's a lot of like cool future tech kind of vibe going on. The effects are bombastic and silly. Like, you know, a game about defeating waves of dinosaurs would kind of be. Runs really, really well. Like, it is a solid, like, I would not be surprised if I turned on a frame counter and I saw like 100 plus FPS at 1440p. Now, granted, I am on a 3090, so 3090 i7 with 64 gigs of RAM, so that's, you know, keep grain of salt there. Maybe it only runs so well because I have a beefy rig, but if this is using, so I had seen some articles and stuff that Capcom was going to continue using the Resident Evil engine that was kind of well venerated for being very well optimized. Like that's what they made the new Resident Evils on. The fact that if they are using that engine, that might explain why this seems to run so well. And why it looks as good as it does.
Exofighters, welcome to the war game. I am the Advanced Artificial Intelligence Leviathan. I require all Exofighters to participate in the combat tests. This is a two-team competitive scenario. Those on the other side are the enemy team.
Okay.
The first team to complete all of the assigned objectives wins. The winning team will be eligible.
It seems kind of interesting too. It's definitely built with the idea that you don't necessarily have to talk with your teammates. Like, it seems definitely beneficial, but you definitely don't have to.
Compete to live. Compete to achieve.
I don't know what the C means.
Moving to marker. Danger at marker.
Oh, there's a ping system. Yeah, I can give emotes. Okay.
Prepare for transfer to the combat zone.
All right.
Enjoy the war game.
This is very Gambit as well. It's like being able to see the other team and kind of like emote and stuff at them.
Interdimensional transfer complete. The war game will begin shortly. Have a super day.
You definitely get like a good sense of movement.
Engage in a dinosaur combat test. Exofighters, follow the Watcher. Initiating dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat. Please wait. Summon raptors.
Nobody's gonna go healer.
Summon raptors.
Yes, if anybody went healer, and I'm assuming that means nobody went healer.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team.
It's kind of neat. I don't know if there's really any reason
Proceed to
to,
next mission.
like, it feels like you can kind of get carried and it's just okay.
Preparing combat area. Please wait.
Which is kind of,
Summon raptors.
you know, it seems like your abilities and stuff. Maybe it gets much harder at when it gets like,
Summon raptors.
Keep that up.
Summon raptors.
Nice work.
yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like you can kind of just let your teammates, as long as you are literally just shooting in the general direction of the raptors, then, you know, you're at least somewhat contributing. These witch doctors seem busted.
Dinosaur call.
Because it seems like they can just,
You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team.
it just seems like you can
Proceed
drop
to next mission.
a heal and
Follow
then
the nav line and join the
hold down left click and just, you're just
dinosaur call
okay.
mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Eliminate the specified target. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Initiating dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summon raptors. Summoning Tyrannosaurus. Summon raptors. Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Proceed.
I don't really know how you get, like, it feels like once you're behind, you're kind of just behind, right?
Preparing combat area. Please wait.
I owe you.
Summon raptors.
Thank you.
Summoning Tyrannosaurus. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning raptors.
Yeah, it definitely feels like,
I needed that.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy
okay,
team.
never mind. It does seem like you can kind of catch up. You're
Initiating
behind.
Dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Follow the nav line and join the mission. Summoning a Triceratops. Escort call. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team.
Okay, I guess we caught up. I guess you can actually catch up if you're a little bit behind. That's kind of neat. That's a neat, that's a neat way to do it.
For interdimensional travel. Prepare for combat.
It does seem to do the gambit thing where it
Final mission.
it kind of tells you where the other team is and where you are in relation to them.
Proximity to the data key
That's
will
always
cause it
nice.
to advance. Escort it to the objective. If the data key is destroyed, remain in proximity to repair it. Warning, the enemy team has entered this dimension. You are at great risk of being attacked. Stay alert at all times. Summoning raptors. Summoning pteranodons. Summoning pteranodons.
I should probably save my
30 people in the box.
my bad, I'm here.
Escort progress 20%. The enemy team is on the offensive. Fight back.
So have they invaded?
The enemy team are dominant.
Okay.
They may invade with a hostile dinosaur. The enemy
So you can. It looks like you can kind of like. So I save my. It seems like it's really busted just to save your ult and use it for those types of fights. So that way you can maintain, especially if you need to maintain advantage, kind of a rich get richer sort of deal.
generated for your team. Use the dominator to commandeer a dinosaur and attack the enemies. Escort progress 40%. Summoning pteranodons. Dominator activated. Take advantage of this unique asset and defeat the enemies.
Okay, let's try to invade. I'm interested in seeing what invasions look like.
Is badly damaged. The data key has been destroyed. Maintain proximity to initiate reactivation. Stay near the data key to escort it and complete the mission. The data key has been reactivated. Continue your mission. Your allies are on the offensive and you can continue. Escort progress 60%.
Oh wow.
The data key is being attacked by dinosaurs.
Okay. So that's a pretty big win. Hey, I killed their tank.
Summoning raptors.
All right, let's run away. Drop more healing.
The enemy data key has progressed 60%. Warning. The enemy team has activated the dominant. Enemy controlled dinosaur incoming.
Incoming Triceratops.
Escort progress 80%. The enemy data key has progressed 80%. Victory is near. Demonstrate exemplary combat ability by defeating the enemy team. A well-balanced combat.
Okay. Got another one. Ow.
Data key has reached the objective. Beginning preparations for aerial transfer of the data key. Preparations progress.
Okay, so we want to stay on this.
Exofighters are near the data key. Continue escorting the data key. Data key transfer preparations 60% complete. Aerial transfer will be initiated soon.
That area seems like it sucks to try to funnel through. You can just kind of sit over here.
That was a maximally effective battle.
Okay.
Exemplary results like these allow for
I didn't really do. I feel like I didn't do a whole lot there, but we somehow managed to win. Okay, I was doing like a salute there. I'm sorry, I looked away to see if somebody sent me a message. I'm assuming they're MVP.
Behold, the best exofighters in this war game.
This is a cool little burger. This is a really cool way to do a campaign, though. So the only other time I've seen a campaign kind of do this is with Titanfall, where Titanfall kind of you had to play with, especially the first Titanfall, it was multiplayer only. So it's really interesting they decided to go kind of this route with this game, is where it's all online sort of deal. So the next thing I'm interested in is, because I don't know. Okay, neat. Okay. I don't know if... What happens if I lose? Oh, I was bottom of the leaderboard. Rip.
If you are concerned.
So, rigs and modules. This didn't really seem to do as much as I thought it would. Let's do cannon again. Increases movement speed when health drops below 40%. Ah, that doesn't seem very useful. Barrage. So this one seems to be pretty nuts. He seems to be very close to like Junkrat or Demo Man. Where he just like kind of lobs grenades everywhere.
Oh, now, what? Where did this problem come from?
I've never fought in a...
What's left to be found? Oh, okay. That's kind of what so this is what I mean, though, is like there's story and there's lore and stuff. This is kind of wild. How can Leviathan be destroyed? I guess let's keep going. Kind of interested. What time we got? 9:15? Okay. I really wasn't expecting this. I didn't really know a whole lot about this game other than it had mech suits and you fought tons of there was like this PvP VE element, and there was, it seemed like kind of a generic hero shooter, but now I'm kind of intrigued by how this is kind of doing it.
Welcome to my test facility. I require exofighters for a live combat test. I am recording satisfactory results in the downtown area. Please offer more high-quality combat data.
I still haven't gotten so far. I want to see what the dance looks like.
You got a groove.
Let us begin. I will transfer you to the combat.
Oh, that's silly.
Prepare for battle. Interdimensional transfer complete. The war game will begin shortly. Have a super day.
I don't know if we don't have a
In
healer.
dinosaur combat
We don't have a
test.
healer.
Exofighters, follow the Watcher. Initiating
How do
dinosaur
I
call
change?
mission. Preparing combat area.
To change.
Summon raptors.
Disengaging.
Summon raptors. Witch Doctor's repair capabilities are indispensable. Support your allies on the battlefield by keeping them shielded. Summon raptors.
Okay, so the rigs seem to be very much interchangeable.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission.
We were slightly behind the other team because I had to.
Initiating dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat area. This way. Summon raptors. Summoning pteranodons.
This doesn't seem to do a whole lot of damage.
Summoning raptors.
Preparing.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives.
We're like
slower
just
than
behind
the
them, it
enemy
seems
team.
like.
Proceed to next mission. Initiating dinosaur call.
It doesn't seem like the areas change a whole lot. Maybe that's just it right now, though.
Summon raptors. Summoning pteranodons. Summoning raptors.
Healing at least seems pretty easy. I don't have to do a whole lot. It's kind of just pop this big old field and then, you know, when things come off cooldown, I just zap somebody.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than
They were behind the other team. Not that much farther, just a little bit.
Preparing combat area. This way. Summoning a Triceratops.
Quick thinking.
Summoning raptors. The Triceratops is on the move. Pursuit.
Keep that up. I needed that.
Yeah, healing definitely. Okay.
Recharging system.
Oh. That hurt. Pick me up, fools. I didn't even realize my HP was that low.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives faster than the
Oh,
enemy team.
we got it. Neat. Yeah, they're still finding the Triceratops.
Warning. You will now commence the final mission. Brace yourselves for interdimensional travel. Prepare for combat.
Oh, man.
The first team to complete all of the assigned objectives wins. Do your part and generate robust combat data. The enemy team has progressed to the final mission. Act quickly to close the performance. Summon raptors.
Nice work.
Summon raptors.
So this seems like just a purely PvE thing.
25%.
I wonder what my ult is. I actually didn't look.
A domino. They may engage with a hostile dinosaur.
Thank you.
Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning raptors. Area defense progress 50%.
I needed that.
Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Area defense progress 75%. Summon raptors.
I think this is a 3-stage.
Area defense. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission.
So I think that like healed everybody. Kind of like a mercy ult.
Summon raptors. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Area defense progress 25%. Summoning a Carnotaurus. Summon raptors. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning Tyrannosaurus. Area defense progress 50%. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Area defense progress 75%.
Oh,
Summoning Pachycephalosaurus.
yes, thank you. Gotta get to the van. Oh my god.
Area defense. Proceed to next mission.
So it seems like it seems kind of rough because if you aren't a healer, or if you're a healer, you can't really seem to do a whole lot to help yourself, other than just stand inside your own field.
Nice work.
Summon raptors. Summoning pteranodons. Area defense progress 25%.
It seems like I definitely need to take like an extra aid, like if I'm playing healer.
Area defense progress 50%. Summoning pteranodons. Dimensional crossing activated. You may invade the enemy team's combat area. Disrupt the enemy's mission progress. Summoning a Triceratops. Warning. The enemy team has activated the Dominator. Enemy team.
Yep.
Prioritize destruction.
That was kind of rough. I didn't really have a... They kind of saw me, and I think they just burned me down.
Summoning pteranodons.
Charging systems.
Yep. Okay, good. They got it down.
75%.
This is respawn. I'm here, my dudes. Oh my god.
Set has been destroyed.
My tank.
Enter the specified
No.
area to
No, stay up. Sick.
Resuming combat.
area defense.
So did we win? We did win.
Congratulations. That was a maximally effective battle. Exemplary results like these
Heal is kind of hard in this because you really don't have a way to heal yourself other than just standing in your own field. And it's not very fast. You don't have like a fast heal for yourself. Oh, neat.
Explosions, shrapnel, music to my ears.
Behold, the best exo fighters in this war game.
Tuh. Cool. Sick. Awesome. I don't know what that is. Cool. Cool. Seems like all lore stuff. Wow, they got a lot of points. I guess you get so much XP just because like you get because healing just nets you so much score. Yeah, I mean that time I'm like third on my team. Neat. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, loot boxes. All right. Hooray! Hooray! I mean, sure, why not, I guess. No. Alright, here's the rub.
I must enter maintenance mode and begin charging soon.
Oh, okay. Neat. What is the Bikatoa incident?
Alrighty. I think we've got our first step to making
Oh.
sense of this cluster flip. Have a gander. This was shot from the carrier's nose camera as we were crashing. This is the first glimpse of Bikatoa anyone's had in 3 long years. The place is shattered. I can't see a single light on anywhere. In all likelihood, we're alone. Well, unless you count Leviathan, I guess. Sandy can get all kinds of info, even from a simple image like this.
Even this limited data has yielded preliminary results.
Still, the real gold mine is 2040, not this pile of overgrown ruins. We'll pull data straight from the source. Okay, let me grab Madge and the Chief and we'll see where we stand.
Okay. It's 9:30. This was interesting. So let's do this real quick.
Get as much lost data from the war game as you can.
Turn you down just a tad. Okay. So, first impressions on this. This is a really surprising game. I did not know that this was the format of the game. It seems intriguing, and it's definitely... It feels like it's taking a lot of things from different kind of... It's trying to do a lot, right? You got... You know what? Let's do this. So we're gonna do this Asmongold style. So let's do Notepad. That might be bigger. Can I choose font? Right there. Okay. So let's kind of recap here. Get my thoughts in order, because I'm very intrigued by this game, and we'll probably do a first impressions video of it. I don't know if I can do a review, because I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be interested in this long enough to beat it to do a proper review, or get far enough into the game to really get a review thought on it. But let's talk about first impressions. All right. So first impressions. Game runs really well. Really well. This is through playing. Gameplay is through Xbox Game Pass, which something to note about that. I've actually had a lot of funny performance stuff with Xbox Game Pass games. I think it has something to do with the way that the games used to run, like in protected memory space. I don't know if maybe this is different or they changed something along the way, but this one runs relatively well. It actually looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm very surprised by the amount of detail in the aesthetic and just how kind of bombastic and nuts everything is, and particle heavy this game is, and still runs well. So game looks good and still manages to not run like ass. That's a really big point, right? Like I said, because these, they're asking $60, and this is not an indie developer. This is Capcom. Like there's some quality to be expected here. So I think that's a big plus in its favor. Surprising part here is there is actually a story. There is a story in this game, and because again, I maintain I saw a trailer for this. I saw some gameplay stuff that played a couple of months ago, maybe at like maybe the Game Awards show or something like that. They played a trailer and gameplay footage of this. And nowhere along the line did I really get any indication that there was story or, I don't know, like a narrative. I just thought that it was going to be like Overwatch, where it gave you kind of just this weird, just the conceit, like the basic conceit of this is why you fight the dinosaurs. And it's like a throwaway line of just like, I don't know, dinosaurs figured out interdimensional travel. Who gives a shit? But there's that seems like they're developing characters. They're developing a storyline. You know, there seems to be this whole like web of stuff that's kind of giving you, you know, bits and pieces of this lore that frankly I just didn't know existed. And seems to be a lot of them, because these files seem to be, all of these files and stuff seem to be linking to this gigantic web of narrative in the center. And the fact that this narrative thing even exists is kind of nuts. So another game that I've kind of seen do this are JRPGs, to be honest with you. I think Xenoblade does this, where it kind of like does this relational map and kind of shows you, like, it doesn't do it like in this type of way where it's almost like, you know, this is like the what was that show? The Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where the guy's like tracing all the red string and he's like, you know, doing the crazy motions. I don't watch that show. I just know the GIF. And like I've seen clips of that scene where he's just like, he's going nuts and he's like tracing all the red lines, trying to figure out this gigantic, this like underlying conspiracy. That's what this reminds me of, but like a high-tech version, right? And you're finding these notes that link to events in the game, and then that all links to like how to escape, which ostensibly it seems like your goal in this game is to escape the island, which is, again, the fact that there's even a narrative that's even, it seems like it's being even half told, is kind of mind-blowing to me. That alone might be enough for me to just continue playing just to see what's going on here. So that's really cool. I really like it seems pretty friendly to pick up and play. Like if you've got, it definitely seems like this is one of those games where it seems definitely more fun with friends, but the matchmaking system is pretty simple. Now, I have not lost the game, but we played, I think we played three games. So I don't know how really competitive this is. I don't know how much this is a crapshoot. I don't know if there's some sort of MMR system. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I don't know a whole lot about how this was kind of built. I don't remember it being kind of shown off as a competitive shooter. So I don't think they're going for like some weird esports ready bullshit that other, famously Overwatch did, right? Is they kind of went hard into the esports portion of this, and not to get too off track, but it didn't work very well. It's not working out for them very well. But going back to this, it's got that PvE stuff, and I think it's really, really cool that it does seem like the dino invasion thing you cannot get rid of. Like that's just part of the game. Like that's just part of the mechanics of the game. But I do find it really cool that you can kind of choose like how you want the end mission, like quote unquote mission to be. The PvP one is where it seems like that's where the cubes are both kind of moving towards each other. Now, it seems like you're both on the same map and you're kind of doing the payload to where it needs to end up at that final stage. And then you kind of duke it, like that's where it like, all right, only one person's going to win here. If nobody chose to invade or do anything, then you kind of all ended up in this one place. The PvE is that column protection. It was almost like a weird zone control or domination, where you sit this point and you defend this point, and they can summon dominated dinosaurs to come and attack you. Dominated dinosaurs to attack you. And that kind of slows down progress, but that's way more tame than just straight up like suit to suit battle, right? Like the dinosaurs seem to be balanced very much around like, well, they've got like they have tons of HP, but they're very, very limited in how they're able to kind of attack. And a coordinated team, like you saw us kind of like melt the dinosaurs, especially on those first two teams. We kind of melted any dominated dinosaurs that came through. Whereas on that third game, when I mean they like without any, if you're just kind of, if your team's not coordinated and maybe just being super greedy or something, or maybe they didn't run enough, maybe their composition is really like DPS heavy, then you can definitely get messed up by somebody playing a dinosaur. But it's definitely seems to not be weighted against the players in that scenario, in that type of in that kind of gameplay mode. I don't know if there's a whole lot of game types. It seems like the loop is the first couple of missions is just very, very it's pretty rote, right? Like you hit these 5 or 6 missions where you wipe out the dinosaurs as quickly as you can. That's it, right? And occasionally it spawns a big dinosaur that you have to fight. It's like a mini boss. And then I don't remember there being a dominator in that portion of like those first 5 points right before you get to the actual control point portion, whether it's the payload one or the zone control / domination one. Doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of variety there. Maybe that changes. We have kind of been on the same map, so maybe there's another map. Let's see if it has any. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a way to look at like the maps. Another thing as well is like, is this the game? Like, is this it? Is you play through all of this and then that's it? If so, $60 for that seems a bit much. I'm not gonna lie. I understand this is a AAA developer, you know, Capcom, but it seems a bit thin. If that's all, maybe it gets more, you know, like I said, maybe there's a straight up versus mode at the end of this. But if that is the case, I feel bad for anybody who just wanted to get this to kind of do the PvP portions, if that's what they're into. So, you know, yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't know where this goes. Like, where does this end up going? Maybe I play more of this. I might do more off stream in just a video, and we'll play through more, and we'll kind of do a little bit longer form, you know, off stream for, you know, continuing impressions video. I've got to come up with a better name than that. But yeah, so anyway, let's go back to my list here. First impressions: game runs really well. Game looks good. Still manages to not run like ass. Surprising parts: there's a story, narrative. I'm still really surprised. Game doesn't run like ass. Again, this is very, very... That's a huge thing for me, guys. I understand that this may be really, really tiring for anybody watching in the future, but the amount of stuff that's happening on screen, and it is able to hold up at 1440p with... Which we didn't really look at the technical stuff here. I'm running at Ultra? I am capped at 60, though. I should have gone through here. There's upscaling. What's this? Oh, okay. It's like okay. It's kind of like variable rate shading. Useful. Oh, okay. It's like it's like a form of upscaling, or not upscaling. Shader caching, I think. I mean, pretty impressive. Like, we were capped at 60, and it felt like it was definitely running at 60 the entire time. I probably could even upscale it. Potentially, I could likely run this at 4K. We might try to run it at 4K just for kicks on the whenever I do kind of a continuing impressions video. But again, like the fact that the game looks this good, runs this well, and has as much going on the screen as it does, it's very surprising to me, especially in this year. We've had a lot of really, really bad games that have been optimized badly. especially for PC and especially like console ports, which this does not feel like a console port. This definitely feels like it was developed with PC in mind. You know, it's got most of the trappings and stuff definitely feel like it's made PC. You know, PC was not a second thought. Now the game is rather simplistic, so that is something that maybe I needs to be kind of made aware of. Is right now, game seems pretty simplistic. Like there's not a whole lot of. It definitely seems like simplistic shooting. Complexity seems to come from ability management, which that does make a bit of sense if it's kind of getting some of that from that kind of like Overwatch pedigree, right? Is in Overwatch there's not really like shooting skill needs to be there. You need to be able to aim, and you need to be able to do, you know, some amount of, you know, hand-eye coordination. But that being said, you know, you kind of saw the recoil. The recoil was really not that. It is really, really not that. It's not that intense, right? The hip fire, right, is using a cone of fire model where it's just your reticle expands outward as you continue shooting. So, you know, it's pretty rudimentary, right? And whenever you ADS, it seems like it's all vertical recoil. At least on like kind of the basic bitch mech that I used, it's very much like, hey, your reticle goes up, and if you pull down even a little bit, then you get good recoil control. Seems very easy and very, very easy for somebody to pick up and play. So, yeah, like I said, complexity seems to be coming from ability management, and it does seem like there is like progression built in here with the suit levels. I guess it gives gives something for people to chase. I don't necessarily, you know, whatever. Sure, I'm not. Maybe depending on how the matchmaking is done, and depending on kind of like how much these abilities and kind of mods and stuff matter, I can see this being very, very stompy if you just get a team that's like decked to the nines, right? And, you know, thick giga chatters who play 18 hours a day with their friends, and they all just raffle stomp you. I can definitely see that being fun. But which, I mean, whatever. That's like that comes with games like this. I think the fact that there is a PvE portion definitely helps. You know, that gives a little bit of longevity to the game. A lot of the times games with progression systems like that, you know, once you get to a certain point, the only people playing are giga chatters who have been playing the game for, you know, months and months and months, and have been grinding it constantly because they just like the game. You can click PvE and you won't have to deal with that. At least in some part. They may be able to clear dinosaurs and stuff faster than you. So there is still that portion of it. But, you know, whatever. Everybody loves progression systems, I suppose. Yeah, the PvP definitely seems like it could be pretty heavily impacted by like a lot of the modules and stuff. And especially some of these, like, especially if they keep releasing suits as well, which Capcom does have a pretty good track record providing continuing support for their games. You know, obviously they do Street Fighter. They release characters for that all the time. Do not compare this to Street Fighter. I swear, like, that's a fighting game, completely different. Those are fighting games are usually out for like they're basically in rotation for like 3 or 4 years. This should not be considered as such. This should be judged as kind of like honestly, like the way you compare this is you compare this to like Overwatch or Warframe, just because Overwatch had a base price, right? And they're continuously releasing champions. I don't know if you I don't know if you pay for those champions. Warframe, completely free. A lot of the stuff in the game can be attained and earned or traded for by other players for items inside of the game that you can earn. And they have MTX where it's kind of like pay for convenience sort of deal. None of it is very, but whenever I was playing that game, most builds in the game could be done with kind of free content that you can earn on your own. I think this game is probably more comparable to Warframe and Overwatch than something like Street Fighter, which is kind of the normal, like, where this kind of like character purchase thing comes from. You could also compare it to like League of Legends or something. The problem is with like League of Legends or Dota or any of those other kind of MOBA games like Smite is they're all free to start, and you know, they're all free to start, and they don't really like. This has the problem of if somebody just has like, if somebody gets a busted hero and gets it to level 20 within the first week, they're basically going to dominate everything. And if you're, you know, if you already spent your $60 and, you know, let's say you're on a tight budget or something, I don't know how much these cost. I'm going to regret this. Okay, good. It opened in another window. I'm wondering how much these cost. So you can buy a Head Start kit from them for $15. 10% off with my Game Pass membership. Ugh. It's gross. That's super gross. You can buy a deluxe kit for them from $70. You can probably pay. That probably gives you like the Head Start kit. Let's see, Exoprimal. Show me the DLC. I want to know how much you want people to pay for this. Pay for champions. See top add-ons. I don't see anything where you directly pay for just one. But if it's $15 for the Head Start kit, that unlocks... God. Oh boy. Oh, okay, cool. Let me make this big for you guys. Is he gonna freak out? Okay. This is $15 and you unlock. Okay, so you unlock, yeah, so it's about $5. It's about $5 a character. Again, that's not, if you took that on its own, that's not terrible. $5, if this was a completely free game, $5 per character is not terrible. But, you know, League, I think, did upwards of like $10 to $15 per character. And I think fighting game characters, like if you play like Killer Instinct, you know, which is a free to play fighting game, you can pay like a wholesale, you can pay like a flat fee for everybody, or you can pay for like a couple bucks on the character depending on which character it was. Oh, it messed up my dimensions, didn't it? It fucking did. Because it's doing it in full screen, that's why. Let me put it back into Windows borderless. There we go. There we go. It fits now. Anyway, with all that being said, business model kind of sucks. There is like this free currency that it seems like you can earn. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take for you to get. Like, first of all, you got to hit level 40, right? I don't know how long it hits level. Like, I don't know if this. I don't know if your character, like, I don't know if this is on a linear increase, or this becomes exponential, right? It could get really, really intense later on. So you at least have a path to unlock them. I just don't know if this is a fair thing or not. Like, I don't know how reasonable it is for me to get level 40 and have enough. And it also doesn't tell me how many by the way, it doesn't tell me how many bitcoins it costs. I don't think it tells me how many bitcoins it costs to unlock her or this suit. It's not it's a suit. Like, I don't know why I said her. It's like, it's not really, it's not necessarily, it's not gendered. It's dumb. So yeah, I don't know. I think this business model is a little bit, I'm also not like, this does not bode well either.
Please don't hesitate to ask me for assistance.
I would hope that they discount this game heavily after, like, after they do a couple more characters. I would hope that they discount this heavily. That would be kind of the best case scenario. I think that if you ask somebody to pay $60 for this and then ask them to spend more money to buy potentially broken characters, especially if they don't have the currency, like if the currency amount is so obscene that it's not enough, then that's not fair. I don't think that's right. But if it's, if it's attainable and this is just, and buying the heroes is just like heroes, whatever the hell, what do you want? Exosuits. If buying the exosuits is more, if this is more like a buy for convenience sort of deal, and you can hit level 40 really quickly, and they don't cost that many bitcoins, okay, sure. Not as egregious, still annoying, but sure, why not? Same thing with these modules, right? Now, in my mind, this is not pay to win because you cannot buy these with premium currency. Now, if they ever make, I didn't see anything inside of the store that indicated that you can buy this currency, so I don't think this is one of those situations where you can just buy your way into, you can just do bot power sort of shit, like with, like how they do. Oh, I mean, League of Legends did it pretty badly. A lot of the time, the new champions would be super busted. So it doesn't look like they're doing anything like that. But be very, very wary if you are checking this out in the future, especially if they've not discounted and it still remains $60. I would hesitate to buy too much in this game. I'm playing it because it's on Game Pass. I pay a flat fee to be able to access these games. And maybe I'll play a bit more of it off stream, get some footage, and we'll do a kind of continuing impressions video of it. And I can give you, maybe we can delve into some of the monetization a little bit more and see if it's fair. But at least for right now, I mean, I am impressed. Like I said, I was not expecting a lot of this. Oh, let me make some notes here. Monetization seems a little suspect. Complexity, customer billing management, monetization seems a little suspect. Okay, with that right now. But yeah, it seems okay. Like at least right now it seems like a competent kind of hero shooter and has a somewhat unique flair. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous as well. I mean, come on, it's your exosuits fighting dinosaurs, and the bad guys like this kind of mustache twirl, like kind of like stereotypical evil AI that seems to want to run human experiments to accomplish the goal of creating better exosuits. I'm sure there is more to the story than that, but sure, why not? Anyway, yeah, I am surprised by this game, and I am very surprised by how well it runs and how good it looks and what they are trying to do, and it still seems to run well. The premise is somewhat unique. I do like that there's kind of some thought out things with regards to this PvP or PvE as your final mission. And of course, this is also just a cool way to do this type of game mode. Think of like, what is that zombie shooter game that Left 4 Dead, right? Everybody came for the PvE, but when it released its PvP VE, right, its PvP mode where somebody could play as a special infected or something, that kind of reinvigorated it in a way that I like still hear people occasionally talk about, like, oh yeah, you remember whenever we used to play, the PvP Left 4 Dead, and that's always been kind of weird to me. But the people who liked it really, really liked it. So I'm thinking this is probably going to have its like diehard fanatics who are going to play this until Capcom decides to shut the servers down. And who knows, maybe the updates and stuff, because we are still like, when did this release? I actually want to know. I know they ran I think they ran like an ad campaign or something at one point, but I'm interested in knowing Oh God. Exoprimal release. Oh my god. So this released June 14th. So it's only 2 weeks old, which is, you know, they do have the potential to definitely make good on a lot of stuff by just doing continuing support for it. This definitely has the good. This has good bones. Other than the monetization, this does have good bones, and I'm kind of interested in seeing where they decide to take it. Like I said, I think I am gonna play a little bit more of this off stream. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna complete it, but we'll drop another. Maybe we'll do a continuing impressions video. But yeah, 7 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and cut the stream here and kind of leave you guys with some good tunes to leave off with. We did not get taken down yet by the man on our stream last night, at least so far. So maybe Jordan's playing too much music that shows up on big publishers' radars. The Tarkovs. So I guess let's kind of let's talk about the Tarkov stuff. So I was doing some more of the tasking and stuff today, and we hit the point where, you know, I got all my Bitcoins done. The problem is more of the task got released, and it looks like part of the tasking involves you going to labs and getting something out of green room. Now, for you Tarkov players, green keycard is very expensive. Very few people have green keycard. I don't know anybody who has green keycard. The last one that sold on Flea was 50 million rubles, which I've only ever had 50 million rubles, more than 50 million rubles, the first wipe I ever played, where I got super fucking rich. I don't know the amount of Tarkov we've been playing lately. I don't know if we may just do variety streams and first looks, and I'm going to focus on doing kind of produced video stuff until maybe the wipe, maybe. And again, we may use Tarkov as kind of like a comfort game where we play Tarkov on days where I don't really have anything planned and there's nothing to check out. There's no first impressions and I don't need to do a research stream. I think that may be what we do, because I know that this channel kind of ostensibly started out as kind of being focused on Tarkov and being a learning Tarkov channel. But with that being said, I don't know how much knowledge I can really give you. I'll be honest with you. The more stuff they add to the game, the cooler it is. And I know the base mechanics and stuff, but a whole lot of things are going to change. And, you know, maybe this changes in the December wipe, because next wipe, there's not going to be a whole lot changing. December wipe, we've got the armor system changes. We've got the recoil changes. We'll have probably more content. I think there's going to be a streets expansion. So maybe we try to do more Tarkov content when that wipe happens. Now, one of the things we are planning, and I'm planning with Jordan, is we may start doing a podcast for EFT content. I don't necessarily know what that content will cover. Whenever I presented it to Jordan to begin with, I thought about only focusing mostly on like patching stuff and focusing on changes to the game. Like we do podcasts around the time when they do patches, when they do Tarkov TVs, and we talk about the content on them. We talk about, like, you know, what is going on in the world of Tarkov, sort of deal. But, you know, he can definitely talk about, like, he plays way more often than I do, so he can definitely hold up a conversation on it. And I can kind of, I don't know, maybe I can kind of be like maybe I can be like the pants of the audience and be like, well, that seems weird. Explain that to me, sort of deal, right? So, which there's content out there like that. Shout out podcast. but that's kind of the state of the channel. I really enjoy, like I said, when I went through the analytics for the videos that we've done so far, I'm very, very surprised by the long form Remnant 2 first impressions video seemingly doing better than I thought. I thought it was kind of booty. I watched it and listened to it, and I was not happy with how it turned out, but I put it up anyway because I felt like, well, it's not my best work, and I'm not necessarily proud of it, but that might be, who knows? Maybe it's at least a video, and it's a start. So we may do more of those first impressions videos. I don't know. We'll see. We may focus those, especially for long games. Those continuous impressions videos, I think those do really, really well for games that are very long and I cannot finish in a decent amount of time, and I can't really do a proper review of, because I was able to do one for Wandering Village because that's an early access game. There is no true review of that. There's not really a true review of that game until it comes out. And there's not really a true review of a game that I don't necessarily know if there's even an end. Wandering Village is just kind of like, it's a management sim. Is it fun to play or not? Continuing Impressions, I think, is a little bit different, where we're exploring it a little bit more in depth. I also have to think of a better name than Continuing Impressions. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Whoever's out there is listening, any likes, subscribes, if you're just lurking, whatever suits you, I surely appreciate your time. And if it's in the future and you're looking at this for kind of your research into whether or not you should pick this up, I will leave you with this. It seems fun. There's something here. The bones of this are good. Like the gameplay loop seems fun. The suits seem fun. There seems to be a decent variety in the suits. This definitely feels like Overwatch's kind of like dropped PvE mode, but in a good way. I mean that as a compliment. There's definitely quality here. And like I said, there's a story mode. That's just nuts. Like, this is a story mode that replaces your normal NPC companions with people. Now, it doesn't seem like you have to win in order to... Actually, I actually think, like, this next cutscene thing, I'm actually wondering if this just fills up slower if you lose. Maybe that's something I'll look into. I may follow up with you guys on that. I'm going to make sure... You know what? Let's put a note on that. Follow up for continuing impressions. Does losing mean you have to repeat? Or let's phrase that better. Does losing a match earn you progress to the next story stuff? That's a follow-up. So let's look into that. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm gonna send you over to the ending screen. We'll put on some music for you. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye now.